Hello, I'm Ali Langdon. Welcome to A Current Affair here at Bondi Beach. Again, such powerful scenes, such a crowd, some telling me that this is their 6th, 7th time here, and I guess this is their backyard and they'd rather be here together with their community than at home because they strangely find peace here, paying their respects to those lost in Sunday's massacre. And the latest confirmed deaths are Sophia and Boris Gurman. They tried to stop the shooters before they reached the bridge. The Gurman family says that brave act encapsulates who they were, people who instinctively and selflessly tried to help others. Next month would have marked their 35th wedding anniversary. They died together as heroes. Earlier I was down looking at the growing mass of flowers, and I just want to share some of the beautiful messages being left. Sunflowers always grow towards the light. When the light is gone, they turn to each other. In our darkest hour, let us share the light of those lost and release it into a sky of infinite love. It is a sentiment shared by Sheina Gutnick. Her father, Reuven Morrison, ran towards evil and it cost him his life. But his bravery saved who knows how many. And I sat down with Sheina this afternoon.
Everyone down on the ground and him up there running straight towards the danger, running straight towards that terrorist, facing him straight down in the face, eye to eye. That was my dad. That was him.
Sheina, I'm so sorry that we're sitting here and I really wish we weren't. How are you?
We're not okay.
Yeah.
Staying strong for my mum and for my children, for the community. That's what's getting us through it.
And it feels like such an empty, almost shallow question to ask. How are you? But I guess it's that roller coaster, isn't it?
It's a roller coaster. It's the roller coaster, the disbelief, the anger, the sadness, and the pride.
Tell me first about the pride, about the type of person your dad was.
My dad was a person larger than life itself. He stood strongly for what he believed in. He jumped up at the sign of terror. He didn't lay low, he didn't cower. He jumped to protect, to save the ones he loved, cost him his life. And he saved lives. He saved so many lives. I got a message from a friend of mine that she was hiding her baby underneath her as she saw my dad facing off the terrorists, saving precious moments.
Sheina, what's it like when you get the call and realise, and that was, you know, in that moment, that was your dad who
That's my
stepped up?
dad. It's just so, it's him. He was a protector, he was a papa bear. He would do anything for anyone.
And you know what? You've always known that your dad is a hero.
Always. He was my hero. Always. I was one of those kids that was always so proud of my dad for who he was, for what he stood for how proud he was in everything that he did and what he instilled in me. I was always so proud of him.
And now the whole world knows.
And now the world knows who he is.
I think everyone has seen that vision of your dad. And there is that moment after Ahmed El-Ahmed tackles the gunman and disarms him, where your dad races in. And there are bullets flying and he's throwing rocks.
That's who he was. That is exactly who he was.
He put everyone else before himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you take me back to Sunday night and how you found out what was happening?
I was exiting a Hanukkah event in Melbourne with my husband and children, and we saw a close friend of my husband's looking very shaken up and asked him what's wrong. He had just gotten off the phone and heard there was an active shooting going on at the Bondi Beach Hanukkah event. From that moment, I had the largest pit in my stomach. I immediately tried calling my dad, who didn't pick up. I called my mum. She picked up. I heard screaming and gunshots in the background. She was screaming that there's a shooter. Everyone was on the ground, covering their heads, including the federal police. But my dad was up there. He was up there fighting for his community, fighting for the people that he loved. And then my mum was yelling that he'd been shot.
And you're hearing all of this over the phone?
I'm hearing all this over the phone, all over the phone. My mother was screaming for help, saying there's no ambulance, they need medical help, they need to stop the bleeding. They then got oxygen masks provided by Life Saving. And then she was screaming that they had stopped providing him with oxygen. And in that moment, she had told me they put a sheet over him. And in that moment, I was praying that in her state of hysteria, she had gone delusional and that it wasn't true. And I was on the floor at that point, just unable to stand. And I just didn't want to believe it. And on the way home in the car, while I was still talking to my mum, one of my children asked, "Are we ever going to see Zeta again?"
Their grandfather.
Their grandfather. And I couldn't answer her. I couldn't answer her.
I'm just so sorry. I know with all the immense sorrow there is also overwhelming anger.
So much anger.
You're furious.
Absolutely. Livid, furious. We need a good thesaurus for all the words. Absolutely.
And talk me through that, exactly why.
Since October 7th, there has been a rising, tornado black cloud of anti-Semitism within Australia, growing and growing in strength. We saw this through endless marches, calls for intifada, calls for murder to the Jews, endless Instagram and retweeting, posting about all these things that just added fire to the hate. I was in Westfield Bondi Junction last year with my baby, wearing my Star of David necklace, and I was called a terrorist while with my baby. And there's no consequences. The government allowed this hate to fester. They allowed it to grow. The police did the best that they could with the training that they had, but it was not enough. They were not prepared for this event, and as such, the government has failed us. They have failed my father, they have failed all the victims, they have failed the Jewish community, and they have so much blood on their hands. They will not be able to wash that blood off their hands. And they knew. We had warned them. We had begged them to do something.
The Prime Minister has praised his government's overall response to anti-Semitism. Says they have harsh legislation in place already. Did that help on Sunday?
Absolutely not. What anti-Semitic legislation? There's nothing there. There's been advice given to the government. Nothing's been acted on. My children and all the schools, Jewish schools in Victoria, New South Wales, need armed guards outside their schools where they go to learn every day. It's their right as children to go to school. They need armed guards. We need armed guards outside our synagogues, our places of worship, just where we can go and be Jewish freely and celebrate who we are as a people. We need protection for that.
Your father and your mother both fled the Soviet Union.
They did.
So they could live life freely.
They
as
did.
Proud Jews.
And they did for a number of years. Australia was so kind to them. Australia gave them the freedom. They lived their lives as proud Jews. He was an incredible philanthropist, and he did so much so quietly. He gave back everything to the community.
And his final moments he gave back to?
He gave everything back. He gave himself back to his community. He lived his life for this community. It was his life's work, and he lost his life protecting them for everything that he stood for and worked so hard for.
I'm so proud of him.
His grandchildren are proud. They know their grandfather died a hero. But my children have had their world taken from them. He was the person they loved the most in this world. And he loved them. He loved them so much.
How's your mum?
The love of her life was taken from her, in front of her.
A man she met on Bondi Beach when she was 16.
In Bondi, at the beach, and love at first sight. They built the most incredible life together from that moment on.
And she watched him take his last breath.
She was with him as he took his last breath on Bondi Beach.
What is your overriding message that you want to share?
Our mission, we believe, as Jews in this world, is to bring light into this world of immense darkness. And right now, as this dark fog, immense pitch black falls upon us here in Australia, we as Jews need to keep the light alive. My dad was a hero. Don't let his death be in vain. He would want everyone to continue adding light to this world that is so dark.
Reuven Morrison, your dad. He's a hero. Thank you. Thank you.
But the main thing to recall is to have no fear at all. But the main
That is what you're seeing right down here at Bondi Beach at this very moment. And it's the likes of Reuven Morrison and his family who is very much in all of our thoughts. It's just, moments ago we saw the menorah lit.